What does hope look like to you? According to the Toronto Star, there are 22 what they would call priority neighborhoods. And these 22 neighborhoods are now expanding to 31 neighborhoods. And this is because these neighborhoods are low-income neighborhoods. These are where kids have high school dropout rate is high, teenage pregnancy, gangs, and violence runs rampant within these neighborhoods. We see this on the news, you read this in the newspaper, and we say, what's going on here? Don't these kids understand that there's a better way? Don't these kids know they're throwing their future away? And I can tell you by honest truth, they know what they're doing is wrong. They just don't see any other way. They don't see any hope. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and Miss Toastmaster, what does hope look like to you? See, I grew up in one of these 21 neighborhoods that they would deem as a problem, deemed as kids who have a very low chance of getting out of the system, but have a very high chance of being locked down by the system. See, I grew up in these neighborhoods. I grew up with single-parent income. I understand what it's like that you walk out the door, things can go wrong. I understand that getting caught up with gangs is very easy. I understand that. But see, I understand also something that a lot of these kids don't get. And I understand what hope is like. I understand what it's like for someone to look inside of you and say, I see you better than the system. I believe in you. I believe that you're better than what the stats say. I believe you're better than where you grew up. I believe that you can change your neighborhood. See, what does hope look like to you? I came up with this definition of hope is helping others pursue excellence. And I sat back and I looked at my life from where I am right now to say that when I was younger, I remember getting a phone call from a youth leader who said, Clem, I want you to be part of the youth executive. Now, he didn't really ask me, he voluntold me to be part of this executive. And I'm a shy, introvert person. Do not like talking in front of people, do not like having attention given to me. I prefer to be in the shadows. Just let me be behind. Do not let me stand out in front of people. And he looked at me and he said, no, I believe in you. You may not see it, but I'm willing to bet on you. When you hope for something, you are believing, you are trusting. When you go to a casino and you put your $5 bill in your coin, you're hoping to get money. You're not hoping to lose it. So you put your trust in that. We know that the machines are what they call the one-armed bandit. We get that. We understand that the house always wins. But we still do it. Why? Because we hope that something good will come out of it. And when I got that phone call, and I told him, I said, I don't think I can do it. He said, I don't want to hear excuses. I want to see you here, part of the executive. And that's what happened. I became part of the junior executive, moved up to treasurer, moved up to vice president. And as I kept moving up each level, confidence began to roll inside of me. Hope. Because someone saw something that I didn't think I was capable of becoming. Why do people do things? Why do gangs hire gangs? Why is it easy for a young kid to get caught up in gangs? Why is it easy for a 14-year-old to get pregnant? It's easy. They don't see hope. No one instills that in them. The news tells you you're never going to make it. So guess what? Why bother try? Your teachers who seem to put a little bit of effort into it in manual won't put it in you. So if you don't see it, Des, why would you bother show up? Because guess what? Forget the system. It doesn't work for me. This is where I grew up. And yet someone also 10 years later called me up and said, Clem, I'm stepping down from the audiovisual department. I want you to take over and run it. Wait a minute. I don't think you get this. I don't think you understand this. I don't do these things. No, we took a vote and we want you to be part of it. And to this day, I was still the youngest person to be head of my audiovisual department. That meant running a team. That meant leading a team. That meant organizing a team. Everything that I knew nothing about, but yet they believed in me. And because of that, led me to wanting to invest back in those kids. So what did I do? The only thing I knew, when someone gives to you, why don't you give back? So I did my 8 years with inner city kids, watching them go through the same things that I went through, dealing with the same nonsense I had to, and look at them and said, guess what, Yuri, I believe in you. You may not, but I'm willing to bet on you. Some kids made it, and some kids didn't. But the ones that I did see are the ones who still come back and say, thanks for kicking my butt. Thanks for pushing me. Thanks for encouraging me. You know what that says? That's what hope looks like. Because I realized that my 8 years was not in vain. And it falls back because the same leaders who invested in me can also say that didn't go in vain. Because like everything else, when you plant a fruit and that tree grows, that fruit is meant so that you can have it, you can have it, you can have it, you can have it. It goes around. So my question is to you, I challenge you right now. Some of you are creative, you're artists, you're photographers, you're financial advisors. Go back into your community. Go back to the Boys and Girls Club, to drop-in centers. Show those kids that you graduated from school. You stayed in school. You did not get pressured to do the wrong thing. And why? This is because you have a decent job and that you can make a difference. We do that, the 21, 22 neighborhoods that are going crazy will stop. They will cease. Because guess what? You will have helped others pursue excellence. And because of that, you will see a person like me standing up here saying, this is what hope looks like. Thank you.